Our morning show continues on WRCO. We're going to switch gears and talk about a special event going on at the Brewer Public Library. We've been at it before, but the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten Challenge is coming up. And in conjunction with CISA 3 of Fenimore and PBS Kids, we bring on via the phone line today, Jamie Hoekstra-Collins, representing PBS Kids. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, Phil. Thanks for inviting me to be here today.
Awesome to have you on the radio. So the program that is going to be presented at the Brewer Public Library, is this similar to programs that you're presenting across the state?
You know, this is actually so unique because of the different partners that are coming together. So we're thrilled to be included.
Awesome. Tell us about PBS Kids, because I think we're well aware of the title, but tell us about what you do.
Well, I think most people think of PBS Kids as a series of shows and digital games. And so I travel around the state helping educators, librarians, and family resource specialists understand that we have a whole collection of multimedia resources. Oftentimes they're in English and in Spanish, and families can download and print different activities and materials. So I think there is just so much more within our digital collection than children and families might realize.
I know that you're a real advocate for early childhood literacy and reading to your kids.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it can sound intimidating when you think about 1,000 books before kindergarten. That's incredible, right?
Yes.
But we can think about how often we read the same book over and over to our child in terms of a traditional book, and the different digital stories that are available on PBS Kids and PBS Learning Media. So there's a great variety of literacy information that supports families in their child's literacy development, and we'll be sharing those on February 1st at the Brewer Public Library in Richland Center with you.
What are some of the hottest titles right now, the top books that you're aware of?
Oh, the top books. Well, I would venture out of the PBS world to say those, Phil. So I'm going to stick with our Daniel Tiger books.
There you go.
And the collection of all the different strategy songs and life little lessons where Daniel Tiger really supports children learning about how to navigate big feelings. And oftentimes we hear from family members that those songs are helpful for them as well.
Daniel Tiger has quite a history with PBS.
He definitely does. And I think some people are surprised to find out that he was an original puppet of Mr. Rogers. And that's where he got his start.
Mm-hmm. And that show has just kind of carried on that tradition, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Looking at some of the other resources that you provide, could you talk about that, what PBS Kids can do for the area?
Sure, and I think it's important to know that PBS Kids goes national across the United States, and then we have PBS Wisconsin Education resources as well. So Daniel Tiger comes to us from across the country, and then we also have shows that are related to materials that children love, from Molly of Denali in Alaska to Lila in the Loop in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, this event is coming up on February 1st. Do people need to sign up or pre-register for it?
No, they are all welcome to join us.
Will you be on hand at the library?
I will, yes, along with my early learning manager, Marcy Glaus.
Awesome. Can you describe the program and what you'll be talking about that day?
Yes. We'll be welcoming families into the library. There'll be a little Daniel Tiger scavenger hunt to acclimate them to the parts of the library that maybe they've never experienced before. We will have different family resource materials that support children's early literacy development, many of which are also from Sesame Workshop, which is a larger part of PBS Kids. We'll have information for older children about our new show that I mentioned called Lila in the Loop, where they can learn about different computational thinking strategies and games that are easy to play and navigate together.
Lila in the Loop. Can you tell us more about Lila in the Loop?
Sure. Lila in the Loop was just started last year, and it's a show about a little girl who lives and works in a diner with her family, and so she has to rethink all of the different steps involved in navigating the diner and also her life. So I think when we find that children can be overwhelmed with different situations, we have a show like Lila and the Loop that can help children break things down into steps with some pretty fantastic computational thinking strategies.
This is important for parents and grandparents and guardians, I think, to read to their kids, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Reading aloud, listening to stories, and ultimately really having that time to snuggle in together with one another and build that strong connection with love and this heightened sense of vocabulary that literacy can bring into their lives.
Because it starts with literacy. If you're a good reader, you're generally good in other subjects in school as well, right?
I definitely think so, Phil, yes. And part of that comes from this enhanced vocabulary that you develop because you have heard so much beautiful language in different stories that you've been read to or told.
Do you have a version for Spanish-speaking people as well?
We do, yes, and a whole collection of Daniel Tiger digital stories that are available in English and in Spanish.
Oh, that is awesome. Anything else you'd like to add about PBS Kids or the upcoming event at the Brewer Library?
Well, we just hope to see your community there in support of early literacy. We're thrilled to be partnering with your incredible librarian and CISA and the hospital. So this is a really beautiful way for all of us to come together on behalf of children and families in the Richmond Center area.
Thank you so much for being our guest today, Jamie.
Yes, thank you, Phil, for having me.
Jamie Hoekstra-Collins from PBS Kids joining us on this portion of the morning show. We'll talk to the local staff of the Brewer Public Library coming up when the morning show continues. Next portion of our morning show, we have Library Director Stacy Pilla and Rachel Wilson, Program Coordinator here at the WRCO studios from the Brewer Public Library. But in talking to Jamie, this sounds like a really super program here as we look at this, Stacy.
Yes, so on Saturday, February 1st, we would like to invite families with children ages 0 to 5, including kindergartners in Richland County, to come to the Brewer Public Library and join us for a fun and exciting adventure. And that adventure is a program called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, in which parents and caregivers will actually read 1,000 books with their child before they start kindergarten. That's the goal, and more on that later. But this event won't just involve signing up for the program. You'll have the opportunity to engage with all the fun activities from PBS Kids that Jamie described, as well as have your child sign up for their first library card if they don't already have one, and to attend one of our wonderful story times and get acquainted with our weekly story times and keep coming back each week, we hope.
1,000 books before kindergarten. Does it count, Rachel, if you read the same book like 10 times, or how does that work?
Absolutely. As a parent, kids reading to my kids, I felt like we read the same book over and over and over again. So yeah, definitely, you can read the same book as many times as possible. So
because kids have their favorites,
yes,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And us as adults do as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Great. And it sounds like it's just going to be a real fun thing. You know, you're talking about a Daniel Tiger scavenger hunt, Stacy?
Yes, Daniel Tiger will be the star of the show. We will have a scavenger hunt in the children's room. Children can walk around the library, get acquainted with the library itself, and search for Daniel Tiger to see how many they can find. And there will be photo ops with Daniel Tiger and other PBS Kids characters, in addition to the activities that PBS will bring.
PBS Kids, that's kind of the hot thing among the young set right now, isn't it?
It is, and they have so many amazing resources that we think this is a fabulous way to get children and families engaged in early literacy activities in addition to the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. Lots of free resources and tools that they can get acquainted with and continue to access from home for free as they go along through this journey.
Rachel, I'm sure you're hoping that this will, maybe some people that have never visited the Brewer Public Library before will kind of realize the resources that you have, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always trying to introduce new and exciting programs and events. So it's hopefully, it draws a new crowd and our existing crowd that continue attending all the events. We're just happy to see anybody come into the library.
I get the day to celebrate list every day. Did you know that today, the fourth Wednesday of January, is Library Shelfie Day? Did you know that?
No.
Didn't know that?
I didn't.
There's a program for that.
There is? Yeah, I'm sure there is. It says, on this day, book lovers share selfies of themselves in front of library shelves and in front of shelves of their personal book collections, and these can be displayed as shelfies on social media. So there you go. When you go back to the library today,
we'll make that happen.
Make that happen.
Rachel will make that happen.
Yeah.
That is great. So, I guess some other questions about the library. You have so many other resources. Do you still have the Tech Help Tuesdays?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We do. Yes, we do. In fact, that is ongoing right now. Joe Scribbins is our technical services librarian and is available, especially on Tuesday mornings, to give people a hand with whatever tech help they might be looking for. And he's also available by appointment.
Every time I read that community calendar announcement, I'm thinking, I need to go to that.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a lot of good ideas and tips. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Sure.
come in anytime.
What about some other special programs coming up at the Brewer Public Library? Anything that you'd like to recognize today?
Yeah. So story time is probably our most attended and popular program. On Wednesday afternoons, we have after-school kids that come in, and we've had some really great mystery readers or guest readers. Marty Richards and Tess Barhamlin came in the last couple weeks. And the after-school kids have really seemed to like those, guest readers. You never know what they're going to pick to read, so it's kind of fun to see, what each reader chooses. We have Legos, and we have Pokemon Club coming on Monday afternoon, I should say, and lots of different things. Story times will be changing in February a little bit. We're going to add what we'll call toddler tales, and on Tuesday mornings, where kind of the toddler age group will have their own story time where they can come and possibly hold their own board books and just learn, what a book is and how to hold it, and just those beginner reader things to learn about. And what other events? Oh, the Borgia Rose event is a special event coming up.
Borgia Rose author event is coming up on February 8th. Katie Albaugh, local author, will join us for an author talk on that day. We do still have free copies of the book available at the library if anyone would like to pick those up while supplies last, just a few left. But Storytime itself is definitely one of the programs that we hope to hook our youngest patrons on. We have Taylor Ann Brule is currently leading our Storytime. She does a fantastic job. Very engaging storyteller. And at the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten event, we will also have a series of story times that morning, 2 in English and 2 in Spanish. So we want to make this event very accessible to the community. We'll also have bilingual guides who can steer people throughout the event and answer questions.
Do you have a large population of Hispanic-speaking people that come in? And
we have some, and we would certainly like to be as welcoming as possible and encourage them to come out, get a library card, and utilize the services that the library can offer.
And that library card is free, right?
That library card is free.
That's awesome. And you don't charge fines anymore, too. Is that correct?
No late fines any longer. As long as the items come back, there's no charge.
Have you ever had a book come back? Like we read about those all the time in the news, like from 50, 60 years ago that all of a sudden mysteriously shows up in the box. Have you had that happen?
I haven't had that happen. I think the oldest was maybe about 5 or 6 years, so that's a pretty good record in itself.
Still, that's a long time. Rachel, you talked about the community readers too. It's kind of interesting to see what books they pick. Is it generally a book that maybe they grew up reading, or?
It is. A lot of our people who have been guest readers, their parents or grandparents themselves, so they have chosen books that they have enjoyed reading to their kids or grandkids. And you can tell they maybe have done guest reader presentations or something before, because they choose something that is, pertains to their daily work. So it's kind of fun to see what they come up with.
Sure. And you got to show the pictures too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the kids like to see the pictures, and they have a lot of questions sometimes. So it's kind of fun to see that interaction.
If someone needs a computer, do you have a room? Do you have to reserve a space there? How does that work, Stacy?
We have a good supply of public computers, and generally there's one available at any given time. So they're available anytime the library is open.
What about the history room? Is that open the regular time that the library is open?
It has a bit different hours. Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 4, the history room is open and by appointment.
Okay. And that is a fascinating spot where people can do a lot of research, especially if you're looking back, maybe even some family tree things and everything, right?
Definitely. And the history room also has a Facebook page, so you can follow from home, and so many fun and interesting old pictures posted there and good stories shared on that page.
Yeah, it's a real treasure for the area. That's true. Are there any job openings?
We do have a job opening currently. We are looking for a part-time library assistant for 12 hours per week, no weekend work. So please apply if interested.
All right. What about the hours of operation, Rachel?
Yeah, so we're open Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, 9 until 6, and then Fridays from 9 until 5, and then Saturdays 10 to 2.
I think the goal of both of you is just to instill that love of reading at a young age. That's kind of the whole goal of being here today, isn't it, Stacey?
Most definitely. We really want to reach families with young children and encourage them to immerse children in early literacy opportunities. It's so critical. Studies show that children who are struggling at the fourth grade level had been struggling at the first grade level. So we definitely want to get in there right off the bat and encourage those skills so that they enter school ready to go and they're successful.
And promoting that, holding an actual book in your hand, Rachel, that's something else to get them started young, right?
Yeah, it is. It makes a lot of difference. It'll instill a lifelong love of reading, like Stacey mentioned. So. And yeah, sometimes having an actual book in your hand, and one you can keep, because we do have those options as prizes in this program as well, other than just library materials too that you can check out and borrow. But yeah, it'll be nice to be able to have those options for the kids who come.
Definitely. I think starting that home library, as kids progress through this program, they'll be able to earn books that they keep, so they'll have their own library at home to continue that reading process well after they're finished with the 1,000 books program. And it really, it sounds kind of daunting, 1,000 books in a short period of time, but if you think about it, if you're reading 2 books every night at bedtime, you will read well over 700 books in a year. So really in a year and a half with just 2 books a day, you can get through this program and with tremendous impacts on your child.
You don't want people to feel guilty thinking that, I've only got a half year before my kid goes to kindergarten. I mean,
sure.
if you don't make it, do the best you can then, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole goal, is just to, even if you don't make it before kindergarten, as the program's, hopes or challenges you, the whole point is just to get them to enjoy reading at some point. So
Great.
That's a good place to start.
We hope that people will come out on the 1st of February for the event. And what are the hours for that again, Stacey?
10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and our story times will run every half hour. So if you drop in at a time where you can take advantage of that, as well as float around the library, take the scavenger hunt, enjoy the PBS Kids activities, and the other community resource information that we'll have available on tables, you should have plenty of time to get through before we're finished at 1 p.m.
Jamie talked about the top books. Of course, she only wanted to talk about the Daniel Tiger and the PBS Kids ones. But what are the hot books right now for the young set, 0 to 5?
Oh.
I would say Bluey.
Bluey, sure.
Bluey books are really popular. Of course, the classics, Berenstain Bears, Going on a Bear Hunt, all, those classic kind of board books that have been really popular. Any of Eric Carle books. And an author by the name of Jory John is really popular, like The Bad Seed and The Big Cheese. Those books are almost always checked out. So,
and as Jamie mentioned, the PBS series characters are great for social emotional learning. So much valuable content with Daniel Tiger, and we do have a great selection of Daniel Tiger books.
Awesome. What about Dr. Seuss? Dr. Seuss still relevant?
Yes. Yes, it
Stood
is.
the test of time.
It has. I bet it has.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for all you do. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Library Director Stacy Pilla and Rachel Wilson, Programming Coordinator, and we hope that everybody will join the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten Challenge here in the community and join the event on Saturday, February 1st at the Brewer Public Library from 10 until 1.